Hi there guys, I hope you have had a good day. Now there has been another split between Dominic Ingle and Kell Brook, and it's right before he's going to be fighting Terence Crawford, likely the toughest fight of his career. Now, recently these two have been on and off, like they've been working together, then they haven't, then they're back together again. It's almost like Billy Joe Saunders and his trainers. One minute it's Dominic Ingle, next minute it's Ben Davison, then it's someone else, then it's Mark Tibbs again. So he's been going back and forth to trainers. Now Kell Brook has also started doing that. I mean, does he need Dominic Ingle in his corner for this fight? I would say that Dominic Ingle knows him better than any other trainer, so yes, I think that would be probably beneficial to Kell Brook, but that's ultimately not going to happen now, and he will be fighting on November 14th. So that fight is coming up very, very soon, and this split, that's soon before the fight. Has he been training with Dominic Ingle, or has he just been doing his own thing anyway? With who? Who's he doing his own thing with? Is he training himself? That is not a good idea, especially ahead of a fight of this magnitude. I mean, Dominic Ingle explained that he doesn't know who is training Kell Brook and whether he's going to be training with anyone at all. I don't know what's going on. How can he be preparing for a fight like this, of this magnitude, against someone who's ranked definitely within the top 3 pound for pound in the world without a trainer? I mean, maybe he does have a trainer, but I just think that Dominic Ingle knows Kell Brook better than anyone else. Now, we don't know the reason for this. Apparently, Dominic Ingle has explained that the reason why he doesn't want to train Kell Brook for this fight is he doesn't want to risk traveling during the pandemic. I mean, that is a good excuse, I guess, and a good reason, but I don't know whether that is the reason or not. I mean, he does often train Kell Brook for his fights, and he's often been in the corner for Kell Brook, but recently there has been a lot of back and forth between the two of them. Like, Kell Brook joins Team Ingle, then he leaves, then he goes back. So I think that the relationship has been rocky for a while. And I mean, yeah, that's a legitimate reason. I don't think that maybe Dominic Ingle is lying. I don't think that he wants to travel during the pandemic. But I just think that there might be something else there as well. Maybe the relationship just doesn't work as well as it did a few years ago. I mean, it is interesting what Dominic Ingle had to say about the situation when he was asked. This is what he had to say. Why would you take that risk? During these times, why would you take the risk of going abroad? He's in a big fight with Crawford. Whether it's an exercise in saving money or whatever it is, that's down to him. I have people say, you're going to come on board for the last 6 weeks? No, I'm not going to do that, and you wouldn't have asked me to do that. I've trained people for 12 weeks. I need to know from the beginning of the camps to the end what they are capable of, not going in half blind. I can't wave a magic wand for people and make them win a fight. It's not what you do in camp. So there you go, that is what Dominic Ingle has had to say about the split between him and Kell Brook. Clearly there was some situation going on with the training, and obviously they wanted him to come in maybe halfway and start training Kell Brook as he was gearing up to go out to America and get ready for this fight. Now, I mean, he's not going to do that. He's a professional trainer and probably doesn't want to come in at short notice. He wants to be there for the whole camp to implement his kind of game plan. I mean, you cannot put together a game plan to beat someone like Terence Crawford in just 6 weeks. It's just not possible. Even Dominic Ingle explained that Terence Crawford is capable of being beaten by Kell Brook. Kell Brook can do it, but as long as Kell Brook has a good camp, 12 weeks, and has someone in his corner who knows what they are doing, the fighter's knowledge is just not enough. You need a good trainer and an experienced trainer in the corner to give you 12 weeks of hard, disciplined training to get ready for someone like Terence Crawford. I mean, this is the biggest fight of Kell Brook's career, and he doesn't have a trainer for it. This kind of training camp, which is itty-bitty here and there, and, I mean, no trainer set into place, that is the worst kind of training camp for this kind of fight. It really is. And I did believe that Dominic Ingle would be right there training with Kell Brook, but he doesn't want to travel. He doesn't want to come in halfway, which I do understand completely, especially the travelling part, and definitely coming in halfway, especially to prepare for the magnitude of fight that Kell Brook is in with Terence Crawford. And in light of this situation, and given what we know about Kell Brook's camp currently, it's just gotten a lot harder to take this fight against Terence Crawford. Is it just a big payday and a way out of the sport? I mean, he was offered like 1.5 million for this fight. That wasn't enough. They wanted more. They got more. They got the fight. Is it about the career-defining fight and the world title, or is it about the money? I mean, Kell Brook has always been someone who's really, I mean, he's cared more about boxing than the money, or at least that is what I think, judging by Kell Brook. But at the moment, is it just a big payday to get out of boxing? Because I mean, Eddie Hearn isn't really involved in this, and now his long-term trainer, Dominic Ingle, is not also involved in this. And I mean, I thought that Dominic Ingle would be there in the corner for Kell Brook in this fight against Terence Crawford, the biggest fight of his career, and I didn't really see this coming. But then again, do we ever see it coming? I mean, it just happens out of the blue. I mean, who would have thought that Mark Tibbs and Dillian Whyte would go their separate ways? But they did, and that was soon before his fight with Alexander Povetkin. And I know that there has been a lot of back and forth and changes with Kell Brook, and even Billy Joe Saunders. They seem to go to the Ingle gym, then leave, then go back again. So, I mean, Kell Brook needs someone in his corner who knows him and can set out a game plan to beat Terence Crawford. He cannot do that himself. I know that he's a good fighter, and I really do rate Kell Brook, but I think that his chances in this fight are getting slimmer, especially considering if he doesn't have a trainer for this fight. He might do. He might be working with a new trainer, and that might be the case for the last couple of weeks. I hope it is. But if it isn't, then there could be some big trouble for Kell Brook in this fight with Terence Crawford. There was going to be anyway. It's a tough fight, a ridiculously tough fight. I mean, Amir Khan, fastest hands apparently in the welterweight division. I mean, maybe a couple of years ago, maybe not so much now, but the speed of Amir Khan, and Terence Crawford was still able to make him miss and make him pay. I mean, he's just incredible. What he is able to do is unbelievable. So not only is it going to take an elite level fighter, it's also going to take an elite level trainer to put together a game plan to beat him. Does Kell Brook have that at the moment? We don't know. We don't know. One thing that is interesting is Kell Brook shared a picture of him with Billy Joe Saunders on the 14th of September, and it was announced around the 21st of September that Mark Tibbs and Billy Joe Saunders were working with one another. So is there some link? Are they working together with the same trainer? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if Mark Tibbs and Kell Brook are working together, but it is interesting to see that they were both training together, and ultimately, only a week or so after that, Billy Joe Saunders announced that he had reunited with Mark Tibbs. So maybe there is some legs in that. No announcements have come just yet about Kell Brook's training situation though. Guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Kell Brook and his trainer Dominic Ingle have once again parted ways. Kell Brook at the moment does not have a trainer that we know of. He might do, but at the moment we are not sure who is training Kell Brook for this epic fight against Terence Crawford, which is coming up very, very quickly, November 14th. Guys, anyway, drop your thoughts on this in the comments below, leave a thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.